कॉम्पिटिशन्स असतात त्याच्यामध्ये आपण त्यांनी भाग घेऊन ही बक्षिसं मिळवलेली आहेत. झैद त्याशिवाय गिटार वाजवतो. And Sai is from Vasant Vihar School and Zaid is from St. Xavier School. So I welcome today's speakers and I wish them good luck for their presentation and I'm sure you are going to enjoy today's presentation. बिफोर दॅट आपले आताचे को-होस्ट आहेत सुनील नागरे सर. ही इज माय कलीग. वी आर वर्किंग इन इंडस्ट्रियल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिपार्टमेंट. सो ही विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग अबाउट द हाऊस रूल्स. आपल्याला प्रश्न विचारताना काय करायचं अँड ऑल अदर थिंग्स ही विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग. सो बॅक टू सुनील सर. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, friends. For today's Zoom meeting or the Zoom session, there are some house rules for the participation. First one, at the end of every session, there will be a question answer session. So if you want to ask any question regarding today's session, then you can use a chat box. And our course team is maintaining the chat box. They are monitoring the chat box. And after the session, the questions which came or which come in the chat box, that will be directly asked to the presenter by the course team. Second one, after the end of the every session, we will give a quiz link on which you can use some basics MCQ regarding our session, and the last date for the submission of this quiz is today itself. So today till 11 p.m. you need to submit that quiz. To get a participation certificate, what is required? The basic requirement is a daily attendance to the session and daily submission of the quiz. So these two things are very mandatory. Okay? So thank you, and hand over to the Sai Damodar. Sai, you can start.
One more thing. Just a minute. One more thing. At the end of this session, we are going to announce the results of the competition of Guru Purnima, Techno Guru Purnima. So we will be announcing the results at the end of this session. So thank you so much, and back to Sai and Zaid. Thank you.
Yeah. So am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sai Damodar. I'm from Industrial Electronics at VPM's Polytechnic. And today I'm gonna introduce you to what is IoT. IoT is a short form of Internet of Things. So you may ask me now, what is Internet of Things? So Internet of Things is generally a network of electronics. Like you can see here in the GIF file, that there are various electronic components like a smartwatch, a camera, a gamepad, voice console, mouse, PC, and everything is interconnected. So why Internet of Things is getting so much hype nowadays is that you don't need very high technical knowledge to start basic projects, IoT projects. Like I am under 20, age of 20, then also I can make very small projects and application with the help of IoT. And the second thing is that the input required to run the IoT project is quite less. So like for an example, you have heard about Amazon Alexa or the Google Assistant. So previously what used to happen is that you have to manually get up, go to the switchboard and turn on the light or turn off the light. But now due to IoT, IoT devices like Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, with your only a voice command, you can activate or on or off any of the electronic devices in your house. So see now the convenience factor grows massively when you are into Internet of Things. म्हणजे तुमच्याकडनं जे इनपुट असतं ते खूप कमी होतं जेव्हा यू आर इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स. सो एकदम जर आपण इन डेप्थ डेफिनेशन गेलो की व्हॉट इज ऍक्च्युअली इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स, that it is a network of electronics where data is created, the data is exchanged between the electronic machines, so that the efficiency and the accuracy of the whole network increases. एक मशीन एवढं काम करू नाही शकत, पण जेव्हा सगळे मशीन एकत्र होतात तेव्हा त्यांची ॲक्युरसी आणि त्याची म्हणजे एफेक्टिव्हनेस खूप वाढते. तर हेच आपण आजच्या या सेमिनार मध्ये बघणार आहोत. सो द वर्ल्ड बिफोर आयओटी. तर आयओटी हा शब्द It was generated at the 1999. So त्याच्या आधी IoT हा शब्द आलेला पण नव्हता. And what happened at 1999 was first RFID cards म्हणजे रेडिओ फ्रिक्वेन्सी आयडेंटिफिकेशन कार्ड्स आलेले. त्याच्यामुळे दे आर ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द IoT सेन्सर्स. त्यांच्यामुळे काय होतं की RFID सेन्सर्स एकदम क्लोज रेडियस मध्ये असतात तेव्हा ते एक दुसऱ्यासोबत डेटा एक्सचेंज करू शकतात. आता जसं VPM पॉलिटेक्निकच्या कॉलेजमध्ये आमच्या ID कार्डच्या आतमध्ये एक RFID चिप असते. म्हणजे जेव्हा पण आम्ही आमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये शिरतो तेव्हा आम्ही ते RFID चिप स्कॅन करून आमची अटेंडन्स लावू शकतो. बिना एक फिजिकल कोणीतरी माणूस जो आमचा अटेंडन्स घेईल त्याच्या जागी हे ऑटोमेटेड केलंय आमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये. These are all the IoT things, and the hype was that due to RFID, mostly the professional industrial sector started to use RFID, and what happened due to that is that the RFID cards were mass produced in a large numbers. So what happened? The unit price of an RFID chip, decreased massively. So if I want to make a RFID project, then I don't have to buy a large, bulk stock of RFID or buy the same RFID chip at a very large price. I can buy the same RFID chip at a very low cost, nearly 100 or 150 rupees. So you can see the growth from an industry point of view also. And you can see in the year 2018, the total number of IoT devices were nearly 1.2 billion. And now by the year 2030, we are expecting the number to reach nearly 125 billion. So you can see the massive growth in the amount of IoT devices. Now we will show you a YouTube video. It's a very nice pictographical video which will clear your view about IoT. Sunil sir?
Is it visible?
Yeah. No, this. Yeah, thank you, sir. So now in this video, what we saw is that it is a pictographical video of a factory which produces medicine. So, what is the, when IoT is applied, what positive factors we get is that, the engineer who is taking control, who is the manager of the factory, can input the data that how much barrels of medicine we are making each day, and what is the temperature, what should be the mean temperature of the factory to help the medicine to be preserved. So these all things can be done to IoT. And what is the main factor of IoT is that you can store all the data and put it into a machine learning program, so you can process, you can detect the further output. So like इफ यू नो की वर्षभरामध्ये आपण कुठल्या टाइमला सर्वात जास्त आपल्याला मेडिसिन्सची गरज असते प्रोडक्शनला आणि सर्वात कमी असते, then you can manipulate your factory to produce as per the demand. So this was one of the video, and what we saw also in that video is that with various sensors we can detect what is the health system of the workers working there. So they don't have any illness, they don't have any medical reasons. So that is also a factor, that a large amount of data can be can be solved in a very less time without giving any large amount of manual effort. That is the essence of IoT. So now we will move further. Once again. Yeah. So this is a bar graph of how the connected IoT devices are increasing year by year. So this is the time we have taken the timeline of year 2003 to 2020. So this is the first tab is about the world population, and the second tab is about the connected IoT devices. As you can see, in the year between 2003 and 2010 itself, the number of IoT devices are have increased more than the human population. And as per you're seeing now at the year 2020, the ratio of connected devices per person is 1 is to 6.5. So like for each person in this on this earth, there are 6.5 IoT devices. So you can see how much the growth has increased from 2003 to 2020. That from 0.08 we have got to 6.58, and the number is going to increase more and more. So next we will see. So that's why they say the change is the only thing permanent in this world. So these are now you may say that, okay, you have got the essence of IoT, like you have got the basic character that what is IoT. So now we will talk about some practical implementation, that where all this IoT tech can actually go and work. So these are some of the sectors of they are using IoT, and the amount of IoT technology they are using is going to increase year by year. So one of example is the smart city. Now you may have known the central government is making arrangements to deploy more smart cities in the nation. So why we want more smart cities is the reason that the smart cities increases the quality of life of people living in there. So like you can get very fast medical assistance, or you can get things at a very low cost, or you can get a very fast internet usage. That are some of the things that you want in a smart city, and it can be done with the help of IoT. So like using IoT, if there are sensors, see, for example, you have sensors on your watch collecting your heart rate data, and if everything is connected, if your watch senses that there is problem in your body, you have a heart failure, you are going through some disease, then it will automatically give the data to the nearest hospital, and within the time the hospital staff will come here and take all your health precautions and make sure that you are at your fittest position. So now the next is the health sector, which is increasing IoT. So IoT is possible due to sensors like Bluetooth sensor, Wi-Fi sensor, GPRS sensor. So one of the practical example that we can see during this pandemic is the Arogya Setu app. You must have known about the Arogya Setu app. What it does is that it collects data from your mobile via your Bluetooth and your GPRS sensors, and make sure that you don't come in contact with any COVID positive patient. And in case by mistakenly, if you come in contact with what does it do? It continuously turns on your Bluetooth, and also it turns off is the if there is any COVID positive patient, his Bluetooth is also turned on. So if you both get paired, if you both get in contact, the main server of the Arogya Setu will get to know that there is you have been in contact with a COVID positive patient, and again the health officials will come and take your COVID test to make sure you don't get the COVID coronavirus. Now, the next sector of increasing IoT is the industrial in the Internet of Things. That is, as you have seen in that pictographical video previously, that how IoT can be implemented in factories. So, what is the positive aspects of IIoT is that it can reduce the labor cost, it can increase the accuracy, it can increase the timeline in which the product is produced. For example, you can say in the 20th century, the cars were produced by hand. Means 20 to 25 workers used to get to produce one car. And what it used to happen is that as they are human beings, they take time to produce a car, and there are some human errors in that car. You can see a scratch in the car, dent, a slight dent in the car, and the timeline of making a car increases. So what happens is that the main production line of who is owning the production line, he can't sell the car at a very cheap price, so he has to sell the car at a very large price, so a large number of people can't get access to the cars. Now, talking about the 20th century, the automobile industry has flourished massively. So, like you can see, there is a network of machines working together to produce the car from the metal sheets, right from the metal sheets to the actual car in the limited time. So, this is one sector. This is one example of IIoT. And there are various other examples where industrial Internet of Things can flourish. Now, one of the last sectors of increasing IoT is the home automation sector. You must have seen the previous example of Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant. Like that, the whole home can be automated with using IoT. So, for example, you can turn on your air condition 15 minutes prior you get to your home while you are in your car. So what happens is that you don't have to wait to go to your home and turn on the AC to cool the whole room. You can just turn on the AC from the mobile application 15 minutes prior you come to your home, and as soon as you enter your home, your room is already cooled. So this can be one of the example. Another thing is that smart applications, you can turn on the fan lights of your house simply through a click of a button. Also, you can imply CCTV cameras in your home and collect all the data wirelessly to the main database server of your house. So these are some of the sectors of increasing IoT, and this IoT sector is omnipresent. So it is everywhere, and it's gonna last for the next 100 years. So as we talk of today, in the coming years, this sector will flourish more and more, and you can you can also get into IoT in any of these 4 sectors, or there are plenty of these sectors in which you can go. So
Sai, in between you can talk in other languages also. There are some students who are from Marathi medium also, and Hindi and Marathi also in between, particularly about application part when you come. त्यावेळेला थोडंसं मराठी आणि हिंदी मध्ये पण सांग. Okay.
ठीक आहे.
थँक्यू.
तर आपण हे सेक्टर्स ऑफ इन्क्रीजिंग IoT मध्ये बघितलं की इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्सचा वापर कुठल्या कुठल्या वेगळ्या सेक्टर्स मध्ये होऊ शकतो. आता पण होतोय आणि पुढच्या काही वर्षांमध्ये तो अजून वाढणार आहे. आणि तुम्ही पण असं स्मार्ट सिटीजचं सांगितलं तर तुम्ही IoT डिव्हाइसेस प्रोडक्शन लाईन मध्ये जाऊ शकतात, किंवा हेल्थकेअर आरोग्य सेतू सारखे अजून ऍप्स तुम्ही डेव्हलप करू शकतात, किंवा तुम्ही इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये IoTचा जो वर्किंग डेटाबेस आहे ते हँडल करू शकतात, किंवा तुम्ही इंटेरियर डिझायनिंग असते होम इंटेरियर, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही होम ऑटोमेशनची करिअर तुम्ही घेऊ शकतात. तर द मेन पॉइंट ऑफ IoT इज दॅट की तुम्ही आतापासून जर तुम्ही लागले तर तुम्ही नंतर खूप काही या टॉपिक वरती करू शकता. So this is the future of IoT. So what will happen in that prediction is that in the nearly 20 years, there will be about 50 billion machines connected. So this is a plant of a prototype of a smart city. You can see there is a industrial city where there is a rail yard, hospital, power grid, factory. So and these all are connected via internet. So Internet of Things is that it is connected, all the components are connected via internet. Take internet for sense, you can take your Wi-Fi as well as the mobile, the cellular network. So what we can do is that one example is that you can take that the hospital. If you see, they don't take that much of energy at night. But you say about factories is that factories can work 24/7. So what the smart grid can do, it can manipulate the current going through the hospital at night. So it can save the current. ती वीज जी एक्स्ट्रा वीज त्या हॉस्पिटलला भेटतीये, तो ती त्याला थांबवू शकतो आणि ती जी एक्स्ट्रा वीज आहे ती त्या फॅक्टरीला रात्रीमध्ये त्या फॅक्टरीला देऊ शकतो. म्हणजे फॅक्टरीला म्हणजे 24/7 करंट भेटत राहणार आणि त्यांचं काम पण नाही थांबणार. ऍट द सेम टाइम हॉस्पिटल्स ला पण हॉस्पिटल्स किंवा रेल यार्ड या सगळ्या मशीन्सला पण काही प्रॉब्लेम होणार नाही. So now we will talk about the network aspect of IoT. Now you must have seen that 4G and the latest 5G has come, and in the next decade also I'm sure that 5G will be everywhere in the country. So the main positive aspects of 5G is that you can it is a form of cellular network in which you can transfer high amount of data at less time. So if you are building, जर तुम्ही एक खूप कॉम्प्लेक्स IoT नेटवर्क बनवत आहात, त्याच्यामध्ये खूप डेटा प्रोसेसिंग लागते, खूप डेटा लार्ज अमाउंट म्हणजे पेंटाबाइट्स अँड पेंटाबाइट्स ऑफ डेटा लागणार असेल, तेव्हा 5G इज इम्पॉर्टंट. कारण की 4G कुठेतरी बॉटलनेक करणार, कुठेतरी तो कमी पडणार आणि त्याची भर हा 5G काढू शकतो. So we are going to see the positive aspects of 5G is that this is the landscape of 5G and it's how it will be greater than the 4G. So त्याची latency will be 10 times less than when compared to 4G. Then connection density, जिथे आधी एका नेटवर्क टावरच्या खालती समजा 1000 कनेक्शन होत असतील, तर आता त्याच नेटवर्कच्या आतमध्ये 10,000 कनेक्शन होऊ शकतात. मल्टी जीबीपीएस पीक रेट्स म्हणजे आपल्याकडे जर आपण बघितलं तर आतापर्यंत 4G मध्ये जर तुम्ही कधी स्पीड टेस्ट केली असेल तर तुम्हाला कळत असेल की फक्त 10 MBPS किंवा 15 MBPS चा डेटा तुम्हाला भेटत असेल. But now you can get data speeds up to 1 Gbps. That also not one person, but most of the people who are coming in that one tower radius. Spectrum efficiency, जर तुम्हाला माहिती असेल की हे नेटवर्क टावर्स असतात वेगवेगळ्या चॅनल्स वरती काम करतात, तर जे चॅनल्स पण आहेत त्याचे नंबर्स पण वाढलेले आहेत 5G मुळे. त्याच्यानंतर ट्रॅफिक पण जास्तीत जास्त ट्रॅफिक हा 5G हे करू शकतो, हँडल करू शकतो. Plus its network efficiency is also 100 times when compared to 4G. Now here comes the Jio 5G network. As you have heard in the annual Jio meet by the CEO of Jio, Mr. Mukesh Ambani, that he's gonna introduce 5G as soon as possible in the India, and he's gonna connect various IoT devices through it, and so that we can transform a nation to a developed country. So we have a video from Jio which will clear you what I'm exactly trying to say. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Internet of Things or NB-IoT service. We use our pan-India 4G network to connect billions of smart sensors with the highest reliability and the lowest cost. Friends, In the next 3 years, I can see a strong path for Jio to connect over 500 million mobile customers, over 1 billion smart sensors, and over 50 million homes and business establishments. And what is perhaps not so well known is that Jio's global scale 4G and fiber network is powered by several core software technologies and components that have been developed by the young Jio engineers right here in India. Internet of Things, or
Thank you, Sunil sir. 1 minute. Yeah. सो नाव आपल्याला IoT बद्दल पण कळलंय आणि त्याचा नेटवर्क ऍस्पेक्ट पण कळालाय. Now we will see the actual hardware, what goes into the Internet of Things devices. So these are all the types of IoT based microprocessors. So you must have heard processors, the young millennium must have heard about processors from Snapdragon, from MediaTek, AMD, Intel, like that. They are the actual processors which can process a large amount of data, but they also heat a lot, as well as they're very costly to produce. So microprocessors, the difference between processors and microprocessors is that they can process a small amount of data, but they don't heat that much. Plus they are very cost effective to produce. Means you can produce a large amount of microprocessors in very less time for very cheap price. So these are some of the microprocessors today we are gonna learn. Okay. So the first one is Arduino. So Arduino is a open source device, which can process data through this Atmel chip. You can see here, this is the Atmel microprocessors, which does all the processing part, and you can connect all the sensors from this point. So you can connect all the, ultrasonic sensors or gas sensors, you can connect them through these pins. These are the digital pins, and these are the analog in pins, and these are the power pins. Means you have to provide the powers for the sensors to work. So the power is provided from this power pin, and the code, the actual code which goes into the Arduino goes from this USB port, and the code is actually written in a software called as Arduino IDE. Now I will show you the actual Arduino. Just wait a second. Okay. So this is the Arduino Uno. I've cased it into an acrylic case so that it doesn't get dented. So as you can see here, it's the Atmel microchip, which does all the processing part. Here the ports are, you can see this is a kind of USB port. So I have the cable. So this is the blue cable, from which one side you put into the Arduino Uno, and the other side you put to your laptop or computer, or you can connect a OTG adapter and connect to your phone, by which you can compile the Arduino IDE code and send it to the Arduino Uno so that it can start work. Okay. So there has to be a connection from the Arduino Uno to the sensors, so that the sensors will give all the data to the microprocessors. म्हणजे जे सेन्सर्स आहेत त्यांना Arduino Uno सोबत कनेक्ट करण्यासाठी आपल्याला एक वायर लागेल, जी दोन्ही सेन्सर्स आणि मायक्रोप्रोसेसर्सला कनेक्ट करेल. सो दिस इज अ वायर. दिस इज अ जम्पर वायर, ह्याला जम्पर वायर म्हणतात. हे 3 टाइप्स मध्ये येतात, M2M, F2F आणि M2F. ही जी तुम्ही आता बघतायत वायर, ही आहे M2M. आणि इथे जे तुम्ही बघत आहात पोर्ट, समजा मी कनेक्ट केलं, I can connect the wire inside this Arduino. So the ports inside the Arduino are F port. मी M पिन घेतली आणि त्याला F पोर्ट मध्ये टाकलं. तर असं तुम्ही भरपूर वायर्स लागतात जर तुम्हाला एक सर्किट बनवायचं आहे. आणि ह्याच्यामध्ये जर तुम्ही बघत असतील तर एक रेड कलरचा रिसेट पिन आहे. म्हणजे जर तुम्हाला अख्खा जो तुम्ही कोड टाकला आहे त्याला रिसेट करायचं आहे, तर स्टार्टिंग पासनं त्याला परत चालवायचं आहे, देन तुम्हाला फक्त हा रिसेट पिन दाबायचा आहे आणि तुमचा प्रोग्राम परत चालायला लागेल. समजा तुम्हाला पॉवर USB पोर्ट मधनं नाही द्यायचे, देन यू कॅन ऑल्सो कनेक्ट इट टू दिस 12 वोल्ट पॉवर सप्लाय, पॉवर पोर्ट. म्हणजे तो पण USB पोर्ट सारखाच काम करतो. Now we will go to the next microprocessor. This is the Node MCU. So Node MCU जर बघितलं तर साईज मध्ये Arduino Uno पेक्षा छोटा आहे, पण तो काम करतो Arduino Uno सारखाच. So the main fact is that the only differences is that the cache memory in Arduino Uno is quite large than the Node MCU. So if you have a very large file or a very large program to run, then you cannot run such a large program on Node MCU. You have to go through Arduino Uno. But if you have a very small code, then you can do it via the 8 MB memory from the Node MCU. And the plus point is that Node MCU integrated comes with the Wi-Fi port. While if you talk in the Arduino, there is no Wi-Fi port. If you want Wi-Fi or internet via this Arduino, then you have to attach something is called as hat. हॅट म्हणजे काय असते, जशी आपली टोपी असते आपण घालतो तशीच हॅट असते. ती हॅटला आपल्याला आर्डिनो वरती लावावं लागतं आणि मग काय होतं की त्याचे हॅट लावल्यानंतर आपण त्याचे जे क्वालिटीज आहेत ते इन्क्रीज करू शकतो. म्हणजे आता समजा मला एक जॉय पॅड लावायचा आहे आर्डिनो उनो वरती, तर मी एक जॉय पॅडची हॅट लावेल आणि मग त्या आर्डिनो मध्ये एक जॉय पॅडचा सेन्सर येईल. समजा मला एक इथरनेट जॅक किंवा ESP वायफाय लावायचा आहे, वायफाय कंट्रोलर, तर ती हॅट लावावी लागेल. पण इन केस ऑफ नोड MCU त्या हॅटची गरज नाही आहे, कारण की ह्याच्यामध्ये ऑलरेडी हा ESP8266 चा पोर्ट आहे. वायफाय जिथे तुम्ही लिहिलेलं बघतायत आणि हे जे लाईन्स आहेत, हे गोल्डन लाईन्स त्या वायफायचे अँटीना आहेत. तर हा जो पोर्ट आहे त्याला म्हणतात ESP8266. हा जो सेन्सर आहे त्याच्यामध्ये मेन वायफायचं काम होतं. तर तुम्हाला वायफाय एक्स्ट्रा वायफाय लावायची गरज नाही, याच्यात ऑलरेडी इंटिग्रेटेड आहे. तर मोस्टली जे IoT प्रोजेक्ट्स असतात, जे मी तरी जे करतो त्याच्यामध्ये मी नोड MCU वापरतो. तर नोड MCU मध्ये पण भरपूर प्रोजेक्ट्स आहेत आणि आपण भरपूर प्रोजेक्ट्स बद्दल बघणार आहोत आपल्या पुढच्या सेशन मध्ये. आणि आता हा नेक्स्ट अजून एक मायक्रो कंट्रोलर आपण बघणार आहोत, तो आहे रास्पबेरी पाय. The Raspberry, what is the Raspberry Pi? Is feature of Raspberry Pi is that if you talk about the previous microprocessors like the Node MCU or Arduino Uno or Arduino Nano, what we had to do is that we have to write the code on somewhere on your PC and then compile it to the microprocessor. Whereas या Raspberry Pi मध्ये इनबिल्ट कम्प्युटर आहे. हा एक स्टँड अलोन कम्प्युटर आहे, सिंगल बोर्ड कम्प्युटर आहे. म्हणजे हा एवढूसा एक PCB, हा म्हणजे हातामध्ये येणारा, हा एका अख्ख्या कम्प्युटरचं काम करू शकतो. जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर इथे त्याचा मेन प्रोसेसर आहे, इथेही त्याची रॅम आहे, हा त्याचा वायफाय आणि ब्लूटूथ स्पॉट आहे. इथे जर आपण बघितलं तर हा त्याचा पॉवर पोर्ट आहे. इथे तुम्ही 2 HDMI पोर्ट लावू शकतात. इथे तुमचा ऑडिओ जॅक जो आवाजासाठी असतो. नंतर इथे तुमचे जे USB पोर्ट आहेत, तुम्हाला इंटरनेट पाहिजे तर इथरनेट पोर्ट आहे, USB पोर्ट आहे. सो हा एक छोटा कम्प्युटर आहे लिटरली. आणि या छोट्या कम्प्युटर वरती हे जे तुम्ही पिन बघत आहात, जे आधी तुम्ही नोड एमसीयू किंवा आर्डिनो उनो वरती बघितलेले, तर ह्या पिन्सला म्हणतात GPIO पिन्स, म्हणजे जनरल पर्पज इनपुट आउटपुट पिन्स. हे तेच त्या नोड एमसीयू आणि आर्डिनो सारखे काम करतात. वाया ह्याच्याने तुम्ही तुमच्या सेन्सर्सला कनेक्ट करू शकतात आणि मग त्या सेन्सर्सचा डेटा घेऊ शकतात. सो ह्याच्यामध्ये एक फायदा काय आहे की तुम्हाला एक्स्ट्रा कम्प्युटरची गरज नाहीये. ह्याच्यामध्येच तुम्ही ह्या USB पोर्टला तुम्ही कीबोर्ड आणि माऊस अटॅच करून कोड लिहू शकतात आणि ह्याच्यामध्येच जे GPIO पिन्स आहेत त्यांना तुम्ही तो कोड कंपाईल करू शकतात. सो दिस इज हा एकदम म्हणजे सर्वात जगातला छोटा कम्प्युटर जर तुम्ही बोलले तरी चालेल. नाव आता हे सगळं आपण बघितलं प्रोसेसर्स बद्दल. आता आपण बघणार आहोत वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे सेन्सर्स जे आपण या वेगळ्या वेगळ्या प्रकारच्या मायक्रो प्रोसेसर्सला लावू शकतो. आय वुड लाईक टू हँडल ओव्हर टू झेथ. झेथ.
Hello. Now talking about sensors. Sensors are electronic components which convert physical quantity to electrical signals like digital or analog. These sensors are attached to the microprocessors, which have 3 to 4 programming pins or 2 or current and ground pin, while the others are data pins. Some of the sensors are ultrasonic sensors, temperature sensors, IR sensors, uh, gas sensors, and many more. The sonar sensors have two probes, one which emits ultrasonic sensors waves, while the other detects the returning rays. The time taken from the ray to return from determined distance between the object and the sensors. In the IR sensor, the same method is used, but instead they use infrared rays. While the temperature and gas sensors detect the values around their surroundings and process to the processor. The pricings of the are listed below. Due to coronavirus pandemic, there is a surge in the price of sensors. But as the economic activities, it may vary. In the next session, we are going to see a particular implementation of IoT. This project, Sai, um, Sai,
Sai. Hello, Sai. Sunil sir. Yeah.
In the next session, we are going to see a particular implementation of IoT. This project will revolve around the idea of smart parking solution for the urban areas. As we know, there's a scarcity of parking spaces in the city region. So with the help of IoT, we can make a system in the local can click and pick out the freely available parking spaces near them, and also a GPS location of the same. Then if a car is searching for parking space, then he or she can find the space using the app. Also, if a space is already accommodated, the GPS of the car can confirm it, and the next coming vehicle will be sent to the another parking space. This IoT service will also help the parking system to be more accurate, less time taking. Also, the parking owner can rent their rent will be may vary, because कैसा है हर टाइम जब काम कम हो जाएगा तब उसके प्राइसिंग्स भी कम हो जाएगी, आपको उतना हेल्प हो जाएगा. Next.
Yeah. So
Zed, in between you can talk in other Hindi language also, huh? There
Okay.
are participants will appreciate some of the 10th standard students from other medium. Okay.
Yeah, I will now like to take over from Zed. So So now, previously we have seen various sensors. So now I would like to share about something about sensors. Is that you can see this one is a RFID sensors which I talked about earlier. So this is a RFID sensor, and if I attached my ID card to it, so that it will sense that something RFID's chip is coming near to it. It will detect that the RFID's as chip has contacted it, and it will send all the information of the RFID chip via these pins. Now this one is a ESP8266 sensor, which we got from the Node MCU. Inside the Node MCU you have seen this antenna. So that antenna are from this sensor called the ESP8266. So the next sensor is a relay sensor. You can see this is a relay chip. If you don't know what is relay, is that you can connect your AC current, like your AC bulb or something, television, from these holes, and there is a switch inside it. So when a very small amount, even if a very small amount of current is going through this part of the relay, it will activate it will work as a switch. म्हणजे आपण आपले घरातले जे अप्लायन्सेस आहेत ते या बाजूने कनेक्ट करू शकतो, आणि इकडनं जरी आपण एक छोटासा अमाऊंट ऑफ करंट दिला तरी तो रिले चालू होईल, आणि तो एकतर तुमच्या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इक्विपमेंटला एकतर चालू करेल नाही तर बंद करेल. आणि दिस वन इज अ गॅस सेन्सर. ही जी मेश दिसते तुम्हाला अल्युमिनियमची, त्याच्या आतमध्ये हा सेन्सर आहे, आणि हा काय करतो की जेव्हा पण CO2 एअर जवळ आली, त्याच्या आतमध्ये आली की लार्ज अमाऊंट ऑफ CO2 जेव्हा येते तेव्हा ती सेन्स करते. नाव हे तुम्ही आधीच ऐकलं असेल, दिस इज अ अल्ट्रासॉनिक सेन्सर. इट हॅज two probes. So one probe emits the ultrasonic waves, and the other probe receives it. So when the ultrasonic waves are getting emitted, and when they bang to something and they return, the returning waves are collected at this second probe. So if you want to calculate the distance, at what distance is the object from the sensor, then we can calculate it from the time taken from the waves to go from the probe to the object and coming back to the second probe. Now the second is a IR proximity sensor. You can control, these are the two LEDs. So when you put your hand near to the sensor, you can the sensor can calculate what is the distance between the hand and the object, or if there is any slight distortion. So let's in case take, this is the wall of my cupboard. If I put a IR sensor here, and if I cross it, so it will sense that there is something between the wall and the sensor, and it will tell the microprocessor that, hey, there is something between the wall. So like that you can do with microprocessors. Then the next one here you can see is the temperature and humidity sensor. So inside this white plastic cage, there is the sensor which can calculate what is the humidity, that is humidity and the temperature, म्हणजे वातावरणामध्ये उष्णता किती आहे आणि वातावरण किती म्हणजे गरमी किती आहे हे हा सेन्सर कळू शकतो. So this is all about sensors. And talking about so as we had seen, we were here at the node Arduino. So you can see the price of Arduino. It's nearly 345 rupees. Now due to the COVID pandemic, you might get it might be that the Arduino sensor is Arduino microprocessor is not available, or you have to buy it at a greater price. So I'm sure after this pandemic, the price will fluctuate in this 350 to 400 price tag itself. The next one what we saw was the Node MCU. So this is the Node MCU. As I was talking, these are the GPIO pins. So these are the very different GPIO pin, and we will get into 3 to 4 Arduino as well as Node MCU project in the next session. So Node MCU's price is also nearly 245 rupees. Then here comes the Raspberry Pi. Now the Raspberry Pi is available in various different modules. Like this is one is the Raspberry Pi 4. We can have the Raspberry Pi 3, Raspberry Pi 2, Raspberry Pi 0W, and the variant with the Raspberry Pi 0W cost nearly 1,500. So next we saw was sensors. These are the very different sensors: ultrasonic sensor, temperature and humidity sensor, IR sensor, and the gas sensor we saw previously. These are the different cost of those sensor. You can see 95 rupees, 105, 45. And this was the smart parking example that my colleague Zed showed you. Now this one is another practical implementation of IoT. This is a waste management system in a smart city. So what we can see is that there is a city is divided into various different parts. We have the manufacturing sector, we have the health hospital sector, we have the urban living areas, you have manufacturing plants. So what happens is that the garbage truck, if you see in every places, you must have seen that there are garbage cans, and each and every day the garbage truck comes and takes the trash from your garbage can and then dumps it into a dumping station. So now what's the case is that what we'll see that if we add the implementation of IoT in this scenario, then what will be the positive aspects? So like if we connect a proximity sensor, which I had shown you previously, the GPRS sensor, what it will sense is that until and unless the garbage can is up to its brim, म्हणजे जेव्हापर्यंत ती कचऱ्याचा डब्बा एकदम ब्रिम पर्यंत भरत नाही तेव्हापर्यंत तिकडे तो गार्बेज ट्रकला सांगणार नाही. आणि एकदा गार्बेजची कॅन भरली की त्याच्यानंतर ती गार्बेजची कॅन IoT क्लाउड प्लॅटफॉर्मला सांगणार की अरे बाबा माझी कचऱ्याची कॅन भरली आहे, कोणीतरी या आणि तो कचरा घ्या. तर तेव्हा जेव्हा सगळा कचरा भरेल तेव्हाच ती गाडी येणार. सो सम प्लेसेस ती कॅन 3 दिवसामध्ये भरत असेल तर दर दिवशी त्या गार्बेज ट्रकला येण्याच्या जागी त्याला फक्त 3 दिवसात एकदा यावं लागेल. आणि दुसऱ्या सिनेरिओ मध्ये पब्लिक स्पेस असेल जिथे कचरा दररोज होतो किंवा फॅक्टरीज असतील जिथे कचरा दररोज होतो, तेव्हा दिवसातनं एकदा येण्याच्या जागी तीच कचऱ्याची गाडी दिवसातनं 3 वेळा येऊ शकते, 4 वेळा येऊ शकते. आणि मेन फॅक्टर इज दॅट की कार्बन एमिशन पण याच्याने वाचतो, कारण की गाडी कंटिन्युअसली चालत नाहीये. जशी गरज असेल तशीच ती गाडी चालणार. प्लस एक्स्ट्रा म्हणजे एक्स्ट्रा प्लास्टिक बॅग्स पण वेस्ट नाही होणार, कारण की तो कचरा सगळा म्हणजे जो कचरा तुम्हाला 3 दिवसाचा कचरा जो एका प्लास्टिक बॅग मध्ये भरतोय, आधी तुम्हाला त्याच 3 दिवसाच्या कचऱ्याला 3 वेगळ्या वेगळ्या पिशव्यांमध्ये भरावं लागायचं. म्हणून प्लास्टिक बॅग्स पण म्हणजे यूज कमी होतोय. आणि हे सगळं एफिशियंट होण्यामध्ये अजून एक फॅक्टर आहे की व्हेरियस टाइम्स वी सी दॅट ड्यू टू ऑटोमेशन or industrialization, the job opportunities decreases, means due to which and in this scenario the garbage truck drivers are not losing their jobs because it's not any self-driving car that it will take their jobs. Instead it will make their jobs more efficient and more practical. So this is our one model where we are implementing IoT. And this is also a platform wherein we can use sensors in animal husbandry, so that in the farms you have to see the farmer manually goes through each cattle herd and checks if it is giving enough supply of milk, or it checks its healthcare. So if we implement IoT with a single touch of a button, He can know that what is the status of his cattle. Are they fine? Do they have any medical condition? And if they have any medical condition, the IoT application will automatically call to the nearest cattle hospital, and the officials will come and take care of your cattle herd. So this is one implementations of sensors and microprocessors in day-to-day life. Now coming to the end. Now you have thought that okay, you have given 50 minutes, 1 hour of your day for this Internet of Things seminar. Then what actually you have gained from this seminar is that once you have got the essence of what is IoT, you can implement the functionalities of IoT, and you can have a career in IoT. See, the IoT industry is just like a baby. It's gonna evolve and become mature a day. And until when that day comes, there will be a lot of career opportunities like device connection, data sensing, communication, data value, data analytics, so that you can go, you can have your own production line, you can manage the data. There are for any IoT device to work at a large scale, you need petabytes of data, so that you can supply the data or database servers to your clients. You can make IoT applications like the Arogya Setu app we have seen. You can design any IoT application like the Amazon Alexa. You can go into machine learning. Now, machine learning and deep learning is one factor which is going to increase very rapidly. You see, the most efficient factor of IoT is that also working, without any human interference. Like we don't need any human being sitting aside everywhere to check that the device is working or not, or it is working correctly or not. The IoT device will work for itself, and also it will, whatever data it generates, it will store the data in the database server. So there is a new field emerging called the machine learning, wherein they will take the data and predict what will be the future outcome. So that is a very good thing. Like you must have seen Amazon, they are doing data analysis, like you, and also YouTube. So you must have seen while watching YouTube, if you're watching a video of you say PC build, then after 1 or 2 days you will get a Google ad on your YouTube video about a PC building company like Gigabyte, Aorus, or AMD. So they are from the only thing knowing that you are watching a PC build, the the machine learning program will sense that you are going to buy something computer parts. So it will give you ads of the Gigabyte, Aorus company, AMD company, so that you will take interest and buy their products. As well as in Amazon, you will see if you type one thing, it will give multiple recommendation. And if you're going to buy a new phone, take a case for Redmi. If you're buying a phone from Redmi, then after 1 or 2 days, when you again go to the Amazon application, it will suggest more phones from Redmi or in the same price bracket. So these are some of the examples wherein you can set a career in IoT. So thank you everyone for your time and providing me this platform so that I can share how much knowledge I have to you. So if there are any doubts, please.
Sunil sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So in the chat box, there are some questions. So
Yeah.
First one is, what is the difference between RFID and NFC?
RFID and NFC. RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification Network, and NFC stands for Near Field Connection. Now, the difference is that the NFC tags, are more fast, and they do most of the same things only, but the working process, in the back end is different. And next question.
Next one is a node MCU require internet connection?
Of course, no doubt. continuous internet connection. But the fact is that you can say if you have mobile hotspot or you have Wi-Fi at your home, then you can connect. Okay, in that aspect, internet connection no, but you need Wi-Fi connection. So like if the sensor, the microprocessor and the sensor it at one place, and the same your mobile or the computer is in the same home network, then you don't need internet connection. But if you are taking the data from off score, means the sensor is at Delhi and or any part of the country, and you want the data sitting at your home, then yes, you need internet connection.
Compare all the parameters of RFID and NFC.
Where is it? Okay. Yeah, RFID and okay. I will refer to it and come back. Yeah. Any next further questions?
Sunil, if you want to make a program for Raspberry Pi. Hello?
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
want to, yeah, there are Raspberry Pi is like a mini computer. So you can program a code in C++ as well as Java as well as Python. If you ask me, if you are just starting into coding, then you can go for Python, as you know, Python is quite easy to learn.
Yes, and one question is which one is beneficial in those two? It is related with the RFID and NFC. I think it is related with RFID and NFC. The same person, Sudarshan Tarmale, he has asked what is the difference between RFID and NFC, and he has asked so which one is beneficial in those two, RFID or NFC?
If I can recall, the amount of cache memory in NFC is large. So you can even code a very large command. So like if you have NFC tag on your laptop and you have NFC tag or you have NFC chip or NFC in your mobile, then you can just tap the NFC and you can make it do very large task. Like for example, you have a NFC part in your home car system, then you can just click your phone and it will automatically connect both of them via Bluetooth. So yeah, you can use both RFID. I think so. NFC has more cache data.
Yeah. One more question. Is it possible to connect Raspberry Pi to Node MCU?
Of course, yeah. You have to just take the USB port of Raspberry Pi and connect it to the Node MCU.
And one question is for the organizers that can we get this recorded lecture? It was very useful and most appropriate for all the age group of participants. So I think Sai and Zaid, this is a comment for your session.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
it's a good feedback for the session. So any more questions? I think we have covered all the questions which are being asked in the chat box. Am I correct? No questions remaining in the chat box. And before we end, first of all, let me congratulate both our students. You have done a very good job because teaching so confidently for a mixed audience is not very easy. So let me congratulate both of you. And
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sure that students are waiting for tomorrow's session because in next 2 days you are going to show the demos and some practical things which will be still more interesting. So congratulations to both of you. And 2-3 things I would like to share. आज आपल्याकडे when I see your alumni of our college, they are always interested in what the present current generation is doing. VPM मध्ये काय काय होतं, डिपार्टमेंटला काय चाललंय, and like that there is one student of our department, Priyanka Falke. So when I told about this session, she told me, Madam, just send me link if possible, I will join. So today Priyanka Falke is there and she is our alumni, and now she is working as a software engineer in Capgemini. So after diploma, she did her degree. Then she was working in TCS, and now she is today. So I welcome you, Priyanka. Would you like to say a few things? And because always we have connect with our alumni, and so Priyanka, back to you if you would like to share a few things. Unmute, please. Priyanka, please unmute. Hello. Please unmute.
It is not allowing her
Yeah,
to
It is
she's
audible.
audible now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is it audible now?
Yes, yes, Priyanka, you can
Yeah.
talk now.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah. I recently actually got a message from ma'am that we are having this session, and it's a very good thing that in this current technology, as we all have the internet and these facilities available. So I must say this is a very good thing which has been organized for the students, because at this current point of time, it's very good to understand what is currently the trend, what is going on, and how we can use that for our studies, and how it will be helpful for our career. And I have seen the demo which is given by Sai, and I missed other person's name, sorry, but they have really said it very nicely. There are few things which are already being used in our day-to-day life, as they mentioned the car parking and other things which are currently being used, and really like Python and machine learning. These are kind of a new trending technologies, like future is going to be in that. So it's good to have this kind of a session where we can encourage students to about the latest technologies and what is going on. So I really liked it. I like this session. That's good. It is good, the initiative.
Thank you, Priyanka. And Priyanka was also one of the toppers of our department. And we wish you best of luck and thank you for being here, because we know that all IT engineers, there are 24/7 there on their screen, but still you have managed to come and talk to our students here. So thank you so much. So coming back to the end of this session, and first of all, one more thing, I will congratulate the speakers because you have followed your time very strictly, and that is also a very good thing. Following the time and completing the session in time. So coming to Sunil, we are having results of Techno Guru Purnima. आपल्याकडे दरवर्षी इंडस्ट्रियल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स डिपार्टमेंट मध्ये आता 9वं वर्ष आहे. आपण दरवर्षी टेक्नो गुरु पौर्णिमा करतो, म्हणजे ज्याच्यामध्ये स्टुडंट्स छोटे छोटे प्रोजेक्ट्स करून दाखवतात किंवा कोणतेही एखादे डिस्प्लेस करून दाखवतात. दरवर्षी आपली वेगवेगळी थीम असते, काहीतरी त्यांना विषय दिलेला असतो. आणि ह्या वेळेला टेक्नो गुरु पौर्णिमामध्ये कसं होतं की लॅब्स अवेलेबल नव्हत्या, त्यांच्याकडे हार्डवेअर रिस्ट्रिक्शन होतं. मग जे आहे तेच वापरायचं आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आपलं काय स्किल आहे ते आपण दाखवायचं. सो लाईक दॅट दिस टाइम द थीम वॉज, आपण त्यांना एक कोणताही अॅनिमेटेड व्हिडिओ करायला सांगितला होता आणि एक कोणतंही छोटं मोबाईल ऍप करायला सांगितलं होतं. कारण खूप सारे ऍप आपण डिझाईन करू शकतो विथ ओनली 2 to 4 फीचर्स, एवढीच आपली रिक्वायरमेंट होती. अँड बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ इट, ह्या कॉम्पिटिशनचं जे जजिंग होतं, मुलांनी खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने रिस्पॉन्स केलं, कारण सगळेजण घरी होते, मग तो वेळ आपला चांगला वापरला गेला. अँड ऍट द सेम टाइम आपण प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंटसाठी ही कॉम्पिटिशन अनाऊन्स केली होती आणि प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंटच्या प्रत्येक वर्गामध्ये SY ला 2, TY ला 2 अशी प्रत्येकाला 2-2 बक्षिसं आपण अनाऊन्स केली होती. Best part of it, this particular competition is judged by alumni of VPM only. म्हणजे जी मुलं आता, जे आपले माजी विद्यार्थी आता मोठ्या मोठ्या पदांवर आहेत, जे इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये आहेत, खूप लोक उद्योजक आहेत, IT इंजिनियर्स आहेत, कम्प्युटर इंजिनियर्स आहेत. तर ह्या लोकांकडे आपण हे सगळे प्रोजेक्ट्स पाठवले होते. आमच्यापैकी कोणीही त्याचं जजिंग केलेलं नाही, कारण इम्पार्शल जजिंग आपल्याला हवं होतं ह्याच्यामध्ये. त्यामुळे हे सगळेच्या सगळे आपले प्रोजेक्ट्स आपण अल्युमिनायकडे पाठवले होते आणि त्या माजी विद्यार्थ्यांमधल्या 3 विद्यार्थ्यांनी हे प्रोजेक्ट्स आपल्याला जज करून त्याच्यावरचे रिमार्क्स पाठवले आणि त्याच्या आज आपल्याकडे त्याची आपण अनाऊन्स करतोय की त्याचे रिझल्ट्स काय आले ते. आणि ह्या मुलांना पार्टिसिपेशन सर्टिफिकेट त्या ह्याचं दिलं जाईल. आणि आय एम अनाउन्सिंग द रिझल्ट्स राईट नाव. ह्याच्यासाठी कोणतीही फी आपण घेतली नव्हती, नो रजिस्ट्रेशन फी, नथिंग. आणि सो ॲप डिझायनिंग प्रोग्राम, मोबाईल ॲप डिझायनिंग प्रोग्राम रिझल्ट्स आर SYI Mitesh Chaudhary and Dhanesh Deshmukh, SYIS Tushar Sharma and Shreyas Awad, SYI Tanvi Chiman and Rohan Jadhav, TYI Mayank Lanke and Aryan Vichare. IISIF SY आणि TY ह्या लोकांनी ह्याच्यामध्ये भाग घेतलेला होता आणि त्यांचे हे आपल्याला रिझल्ट्स मिळाले. अॅनिमेटेड व्हिडिओ रिझल्ट्स आर SYI प्रकृती खंडागळे अँड कशिश मिश्रा, SYI सौरभ दुबे अँड प्रेम बाउस्कर, SYI रोहन जाधव, TYI वेदांत पगारे अँड गीतेश पांढरे अँड TYIS सम्यक जैन. सो दीज आर द रिझल्ट्स. आणि हे रिझल्ट आपल्याला आपल्या अल्युमिनायनी त्यांचं सगळं त्यांनी बघितले, त्यांचे व्हिडिओज बघितले, त्यांचे ॲप डिझाईन, त्याची APK फाईल्स बघितल्या. आणि फ्रॉम दॅट सो कॉंग्रॅच्युलेशन्स टू ऑल द विनर्स अँड ऑल्सो टू द पार्टिसिपंट्स ऑल्सो. कारण तुम्ही लॉकडाऊन मध्ये फक्त आता काय करू हे न म्हणता काहीतरी प्रयत्न करत राहिलात आणि दॅट इज अ व्हेरी गुड थिंग अँड कीप इट अप. सो कॉंग्रॅच्युलेशन्स टू वन अँड ऑल. तुम्हाला तुमचे सर्टिफिकेट्स पाठवले जातील. And thank you so much for this session. We will be meeting tomorrow at sharp 3 o'clock with Sai and Zaid. So thank you so much, and we will be ending the meeting. Anything anybody remaining? Sunil, all is over?
All is over.
All the things are over for today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, I again thank you, thank those who are not part of VPM, but they are outside VPM, but still they have taken keen interest. खूप लोक आज इथे जॉईन होत आहेत. आणि मी फक्त सगळ्यांना जर एक रिक्वेस्ट केली की आपले सगळ्यांनी फक्त व्हिडिओज 1 मिनिटासाठी थोडेसे ओपन करा, व्हिडिओज ऑन करा, कारण आम्हाला प्रिंट स्क्रीनशॉट्स घ्यायचे आपल्या ह्या मीटिंगचे. सो इज इट पॉसिबल टू एव्हरीबडी? देर आर ऍक्च्युअल रजिस्ट्रेशन आपलं 104 वगैरे झालं होतं आणि आज मगाशी 82 लोक होते, आता काही लोक गेलेले दिसत आहेत. बट 81 to 82 वेअर द अटेंडीज. आता आपल्याकडे 60-62 दिसतात. सो who will be taking? Sunil sir, you will be taking. Who is having laptop? Okay.
Yes. Sai, you can take it. Sai.
From your laptop, please take the screenshot, print screenshots. So all are requested. It will be a nice photograph, and we will keep it in memory of VPM's precursory workshop for 25th National Conference. And very happy to see all young faces, all young generation on the screen.
Sir, I will be joining in a minute. I think so. My screen has freezed, so I will leave the meeting and join it again.
Okay, okay. Okay, I can also take just a minute. Shweta Narayan, Aditya Khachre, Rajesh Damodar. If you don't mind, you can open your video. Fine, thank you. Fine.
Yeah.
Shweta, yes.
Sai, take a photo.
Sai,
Submission.
I am on screen.
Yeah.
Where
think
is
so.
Zed?
It's not going through gallery view. 1 minute.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm doing.
Where is Zed? Zed nahi hai.
Just a minute.
so what is it? I think so. Zaid will have to take the photo.
Zed meeting में नहीं है. Just check.
I don't know why my screen stopped.
ठीक है,
Yeah.
ठीक है. I will do it. Let's.
Just
I will do it. So 1, 2, and 3.
three skills are there totally.
Yeah. Second screen and 1, 2, 3.
Okay. It's over.
Last one. This last.
Yeah. So I hope that everybody has got the new direction of their career, and as we know that IoT and all these things are going to have a very fantastic direction for your career, and lot many things are, because the world is really going to change a lot after this pandemic. Okay, so it's over, Sunil.
This one. This one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much, and let us meet tomorrow at sharp 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.